Decades before the Hughes family achieved Olympic success, hockey provided them with everything, and they went on to rule the world. Canada was home to the first American hockey family. Quinn and Jack Hughes, who were born in Florida 19 months apart, continued their father's coaching career. After serving as an assistant for the Boston Bruins and Orlando Solar Bears, Jim joined the Manchester Monarchs of New Hampshire in 2003, the same year his youngest son Luke was born. After Jim was appointed as an assistant for the Maple Leafs AHL affiliate and eventually promoted to director of player development for Toronto, the family moved across the border in 2006 and settled in the Lorne Park suburb of Mississauga, Ontario. For almost 10 years, the family stayed there, longer than anywhere else. It was home, where they became pals, where their goals were scored, where girls were kissed. The streets of Ontario, where they played so many hockey games, seemed to belong to the brothers. They converted ice-covered tennis courts into an outdoor rink while residing in Wedgwood Park. With access to the Maple Leafs locker room, they made the most of their time inside Scotiabank Arena. At a restaurant in their neighborhood hockey facility, 3 young boys and a few friends watched Team USA play Canada in the 2010 gold medal game. Zach Parise's game-tying goal in Vancouver put Canada ahead 2-1 in less than 25 seconds from gold. I believe our boys leaped up in celebration and suddenly realized, oh my gosh, Jim Hughes said to NHL.com last month. They most likely noticed that many people were staring at them as they scanned the room. It was one of those amusing times when you cheer for the red, white, and blue and don't care where they are. When Quinn and Jack landed in Milan this month, they were reminded when Sidney Crosby scored the golden goal, breaking the 46-year American gold medal drought. Before Quinn, who finished the competition with a team-high 8 points, scored the overtime winner to upset Sweden in the quarterfinals, Team USA, 16 years after their last Olympic medal, was in danger of losing on the podium once more. After losing teeth to a high stick toward the conclusion of the gold medal game, Jack, who finished the Olympics with a team-high 4 goals, scored one of the most famous goals in American sports history to secure a 2-1 overtime victory over Canada. In the grandstand, Jim leaped his feet and gave hugs to everyone he saw. Just days after celebrating gold as a player development consultant after the women's hockey team defeated Canada, his wife, Ellen, had the expression of most Americans, frozen in amazement and ecstasy. The world had been conquered by the first American hockey family. They practiced like that their entire lives, development coach Dan Ninkovich, who worked with the family for years, told the Post, describing their confidence, urge to compete, and want for the puck at crucial times. I simply shout at the TV while I watch their games. Let them dance after you give them the puck. Before Wednesday's game in Newark, Jack will return to New Jersey and reunite with Luke, who is presently on long-term injured reserve. Quinn will play for the Minnesota Wild on Thursday. They have contracts totaling more than $174 million between them, are the only 3 American brothers ever chosen in the first round of the NHL draft, and are the cover mates of the video game NHL 25. They have benefited much from hockey. I played hockey with Jim, Ellen said to NBC in 2019. We both think the game is the best in the world and adore it. We're fortunate that all 3 of them discovered their enthusiasm for it. Growing up in Hicksville, Long Island, Jim was a Yankee supporter. His father, Marty, was a firefighter for the New York City Fire Department for 30 years. Before starting his coaching career at his alma institution in 1992, Jim played in the lower levels for a short time before becoming a standout defenseman and captain at Providence College. Ellen Weinberg received a soccer scholarship from New Hampshire after playing mixed-gender hockey as a child in Texas. She was admitted into the university's Hall of Fame after joining the school's outstanding hockey team. Despite never having played lacrosse, she made the team. She retired before women's hockey made its Olympic debut due to a knee injury, despite having earned a silver medal at the IHF Women's World Championships in 1992. Ellen, who joined Team USA in 2023 with a head coach, John Robluski, who helped her sons with the U.S. National Team Development Program, went into broadcasting, covering events such as the Olympics and the Frozen Four. However, she quit her TV job in 2009 to devote herself full-time to raising 3 young boys. They prioritize their family, Ninkovich remarked. Jim and Ellen are wonderful folks who always look out for everyone around them. They set an example. The boys followed in their footsteps, and their home is constantly bustling with activity. The all-American family is what they are. In order for Ellen to take her 2-year-old Quinn on the ice, Jack required a babysitter once a week. When Jack was 4 years old, his father and he would frequently skate on a frozen baseball field outside Quinn's classroom window. Quinn's family was envious and preoccupied, so they persuaded the school to let the older brother participate during lunch. Earlier this month, Ellen told The Athletic, "We didn't have a lot of money, so we did what we knew, and all I knew was sports. With them, I knew how to get out and play tackle. I was able to sprint across the field. I knew how to join them for a skate. Jimmy and I were aware that there was no ambitious plan. We were huge sports fans. Sports were all around them. And I believe that since we were moved around much and had 3 children that were so close in age, they ended up becoming great friends. But we didn't have a major plan. Okay, can we just play nice?" was the general sentiment. Once, when Jack was 3 years old, his older brother checked him into the improvised boards in their basement, causing a cut that was the length of his skull and needed to be sutured. Jack's braces were torn from his face when Quinn and Jack stopped wearing gloves years later, after eating pizza and hot chocolate on the way home and playing with pucks on frozen ponds until nightfall. They further dented the walls of their basement. In 2023, Jack told the Post, "We always wanted the best for each other, but we were always competitive. All 3 of us were the biggest admirers of one another. Naturally, sibling rivalry exists within the confines of the house, but once we step outside, everything is love and everyone is supporting one another, wanting each other to succeed as much as possible, and everyone is there for one another." The Toronto Marlboros were led by John Tavares. At the fearsome youth power, Connor McDavid set the standard higher. Ninkovich stated, "The Greater Toronto Hockey League is very competitive, and it played a big role in their upbringing. They were under a lot of scrutiny and pressure to get ready for the following phase. They flourish in Toronto's pressure cooker, but it's not for everyone." When William Nylander, the 2014 first-round pick of the Maple Leafs, moved in with the family, the brothers, who had relocated to Michigan during their high school years, acquired a blueprint for their future. Already proficient in teachings their contemporaries were not exposed to, they learned the value of Team USA's greatest glory while accompanying their father to Lake Placid for national team development camps. In 2018, Jack told ESPN, "He told us the same things he told 20-year-old prospects when we were 12 years old. It was like watching video with an NHL coach every time we had the opportunity to watch a game with my dad." Quinn, 26, was chosen by the Canucks with the 7th overall pick in the 2018 NHL draft after attending Michigan. He won the Norris Trophy in 2024 and was named a 2-time All-Star in Vancouver before making a big deal to Minnesota in December. In 485 games during his career, the defenseman has 402 assists and 64 goals. With his father and grandfather there, Jack, 24, scored his first goal against Quinn and the Canucks later that year after being drafted first overall by the Devils in 2019. With 153 goals and 234 helpers in 404 career games, the frequently injured center and 3-time All-Star achieved 100 goals faster than any other player in Devils history. After being selected with the 4th overall pick in the 2021 draft, Luke, 22, who also went to Michigan, joined Jack in New Jersey. Having played in 2 postseasons with his brother, the defenseman has 22 goals and 97 assists in 204 career games. On December 5th, 2023, they became the second American family to have at least 3 brothers play in the same NHL game, marking the inaugural Hughes Bowl. The 3 brothers, who share a Michigan lakefront home during the off-season, shared the ice for the 3rd time as professionals just over a month ago. It's such an unrealistic goal, but we always dreamed to play in the show with each other, Jack told the Post in 2023. It's pretty crazy how it worked out. The odds are so low for even one of the 3 of us to make the NHL. They are the original American hockey family, and they will always be golden. Before facing Jack in his first NHL game in 2019, Quinn remarked, "My parents always told us how lucky we are to have each other. As a child, you don't really understand that. In retrospect, I realized how fortunate I was to have two brothers who share my passion for hockey.